Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second of our podcasts in our search for another The Room, looking through some of the worst movies ever made. As I was before, I'm again joined by Chris of Two Side Review. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And, of course, Andrew of Paedophile fame.
I'm not famous for being a paedophile.
But I did see the movie.
I saw the movie. Yeah, thank you for that introduction, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's better than Andy from being Andy.
I don't think it is. I think it's worse.
I've just come to borrow people a feeling. Is that too much to ask without getting insulted?
Well, anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Ben and Arthur. To give you guys in the chat a brief overview, it's a very deep film about about gay repression in modern society, and two men trying to tie the knot in their homosexual marriage, but they are thwarted by Ben's rather evil straight brother when he's thrown out of his church for having a homosexual brother that might rub off on their children. That sounded a bit weird, but you know what I mean. So, guys, first thoughts on Ben and Arthur.
Chris's laugh just about sums it up. I think we should end the stream right there. I'm going to get better than that.
I think we found it. I don't think we need to make any more of these. The search is over. We found what we've been looking for in the second attempt, which is a bit of a shame. But
I think we owe a thanks to someone. Didn't someone from the last video was in the chat?
They did. Someone suggested it in the chat, and I apologise because I can't.
Bravo to you.
Yes.
Whoever. I never laughed so hard in my life.
My goodness, what a movie! So, but anyway, your other than just laughter, your thoughts on Ben and Arthur.
Well, you go first, Chris, because you're the movie expert.
Oh shit! It's for me. Where do we start? I'm trying to paint a picture of what it sounds like. It's just one of those shit, guys. I don't know how to shit on it without bringing up a scene. It's first off, okay, I'm going to compile. Okay.
Whoa. You've been answering there for 30 seconds and not said a thing.
I can't.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just... Right. The only way... Let me go back to the beginning.
I can't fucking believe what I just watched, but here we go. The guy, what is his name? His name is like Sam or some shit.
Sam Mravich. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Mravich, something like that.
Yeah. His credits are on every single title.
It's like Tommy Wiseau, isn't it? He does everything on that movie.
Oh, he even puts himself down as sound guy. He does the sound for it. He did the casting. He wrote it. He starred in it. Produced it. He gave himself.
Who was he in the movie?
Ben.
No, Arthur.
Oh, was it?
No, Arthur. Sorry, yeah, Arthur.
Arthur. It was Arthur. So, in a nutshell, it's the worst student film. 11-year-olds can make a better movie. I wrote down keywords: white noise. Tripod, horrible dialogue.
Tripod. Were you just looking a bit closely at Ben's crotch?
No, tripod shots. The panning was awful and jerky, and the audio was horrible. Yeah. So bad that it cut out in between scenes where no one was talking, and then you knew someone was going to say something because you heard before the dialogue hit in. It was bad. The framing was wrong because I can tell because, I'm sorry, not to toot my own horn, but they did aspect ratios. So they did not shoot on the same camera at all through the entire production because the aspect ratio changed like 6 times. There's no editing really. And by the way, he did the editing and it's really bad. There's jump cuts everywhere. Oh, it's just the dialogue, the storyline are just god awful. The acting is fucking bad. it's a conglomerate of scenes thrown together with gay undertones and a swearing.
Gay undertones? I
It's
wouldn't
not
say they were
gay.
undertones.
I mean, it is a
I wrote
gay
down
movie.
gay undertones because
There's
really
gay
was-
undertones in this gay movie. I think it's a fucking disgrace.
It's like
Could
the
you
movie's
be any
gay and
gayer?
the undertones are gay. Bloody hell!
right.
Too
So
much
I mean,
music
my first,
in that musical. I'm fucking not having it.
there's the music. The music was awesomely bad. Guy, it just really, to me, it's pretty close to The Room. So there's my initial thoughts. We'll dig in more to what I have written down, but
Yeah, I've wrote some
It's-
shit down as well.
So,
Yeah.
Andy, your thoughts?
Listen, I haven't got the same angle that Chris has got because Chris has been involved in movies, he's studied it, and he works, he does his own and stuff. But even I picked up on you can't fathom how someone could do something so bad. It's just, I can't grasp it. I just can't grasp it.
Do you think that this Sam guy, when he was writing it, had like the same enthusiasm as Tommy Wiseau? Because like he was going, this is going to be amazing. It's going to run so deep.
Oh yeah.
But it makes The Room look almost sort of Oscar worthy.
It really
Its
does.
production, in
Oh,
the
it bumps
in
it up.
photography,
Oh.
even the acting. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give it some credit here, though.
What?
The very first scene... No, listen, there's some credit that was soon debunked after I watched the whole movie. But the very first scene, like when they're on the phone and they lost connection, I was like, oh, foreshadowing, they're going to break up. And although what actually happened was worse than them breaking... well... I mean, when the people are violent to them, like it literally was like ketchup on their faces and stuff.
Oh God, I have notes on that. Can I go to them?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. No, hold on. I don't want to cut Andy off on giving his initial thoughts.
Sorry,
We'll come back
continue,
to it.
Andy.
Yeah.
no, it was all right, but yeah, just without going into specific points, but we'll get to shortly. It was just it was like The Room in that character motivations made no sense. The main villain, who's his brother, he seemed to like his motivations made no sense. At the beginning, he like cared about him and wanted to save his soul. Then he wanted to murder him. Then he wanted to run around and kill other people. He turned into like a homicidal maniac. Then you've just got like the most ridiculous acting I've ever seen. Ever. It was like, these people are not actors. They've just they've picked them up from some kind of mental asylum
Well,
and
they're
said,
not.
there you go.
It's very much like Tommy Wiseau, but at least Tommy Wiseau and Greg were out there in Hollywood trying to get themselves jobs.
Yeah, and
as
they were having
actors.
acting lessons. These guys don't belong anywhere near a camera.
Well, the guy that played Arthur, the Sam Ralvich guy, did you not think he looked just like a fat Andres Iniesta? The whole way through, I was like, this is like looking at a fat Andres Iniesta.
I never really thought of that. It did look a bit strange. I tell you, there was some good acting in it. It was I can't remember who it was. Wasn't the vicar? It was someone else. But
The detective.
no, he was shit. No, it was somebody
Oh,
else.
the detective was alright.
Dumbass.
Nah,
Detective moron.
he didn't make any sense what he said.
Oh, did you hear the dialogue for Detective Moron? This is how he introduced himself. I fucking swear to God, this is what he said. Oh, where is it? Oh, I wrote it down. I'm sorry, I should have had it pulled up, but I don't. Oh, he says, "Hi, I'm Officer Moron. I'm LAPD."
What was it? When Arthur turns up at his brother's house, he goes, "Hello." And he goes, "Hello." He goes, "Are you Victor?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm Arthur, your brother."
Oh yeah, on the phone. It's like as if it's Arthur, your brother, as if it wouldn't know.
Yeah, and he goes, "We haven't seen each other 7 years now. I haven't seen my brother for many years, but I still recognise him." It was and the scenes between Ben and his ex-wife. That was
what was it? What she said? She went, "I can't believe you've left me for another man."
Yeah.
Another man? Is she like transgendered or something?
And she's like, "I'll be gay, then it'll be right."
We'll
I'm
get
like,
married.
what?
And he goes,
I don't
"I'm
think
gay."
you
Well, I'll
understand
be gay
that.
and it'll be fine. You're not making any sense. I am making sense. You're not making sense. I make sense.
No. I wrote it down. She says, "Hey, I don't make sense. You don't make sense. I make sense. That's who makes sense."
Yes. Oh, what a piece of dialogue. Oh, but I still.
But the bit outrage, he goes like, he says to his ex-wife, "I'm a homosexual." Just randomly.
No, I thought you loved
she's
me.
never heard this before, and he just goes, "I'm a homosexual."
Oh yeah, but that's it. He goes like they want to get married, doesn't he? And he goes to Arthur, and then he goes, "Well, I'm still in the middle of a divorce with my wife." And then she turns up and he goes, "I want to get a divorce." She's like, "What? This is the first I've heard of this." Like, so you're not in the middle of a divorce. You haven't even broached the subject with her, have you?
And then she flies the F word around like, "Fuck this, fuck you, I'm fucking leaving, fuck it, I'm out, fuck. And it just fucking leaves. Oh, it's so. Oh, but like to get down to the film, like they show shots of people just walking and using keys and shit. Like it's horrible. It's just so static shots of them leaving the car and walking to the door. Like it screams I've never been to film school.
I'm sure they caught close-ups of the actors as well when they weren't expecting it. They were like kind of like picking the nose or something, and the camera would go to them, and they like their eyes would like look around from
the camera.
Right. It's like, are you actually filming me at the moment? And they use that in the film.
Yes, you're right. It's like they used the first take. They're like, "You nailed it."
Oh, they did not. Nothing in that film had more than one take, I don't think.
Oh, no way. No way.
And there were so many scenes where they're clearly not filming in the same place, but they're trying to make it look like they are. And I don't understand.
The lighting's different and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up with the lighting and the candles? What the fuck? Jesus.
But in regards to like, we were all a little bit apprehensive to watch this film because we might be like, there might be some quite graphic
talking about the love scene,
sex scenes and stuff.
There was a sex scene.
Oh,
there was.
Right, but before we get to the sex scene, the wedding kiss. They sort of kick each other on the cheek, and then he covers it up so you can't see that. Like clearly they didn't want to kiss each other. And the sex scene. Now I'm not gay, but I'm pretty sure that's not how gays do it.
I thought like they'd moved to a random couple. Hang on a minute.
First off, it started like, the sex scene in Top Gun with Tom Cruise and what's her face. It's all shadowy. They're up against the wall, and then all of a sudden they're having sex like straight people. I don't. I don't
on top of him, like pumping his imaginary vagina.
Right. I don't think that works that. But I'm not gay. So.
I'm not. Maybe they can do it face to face. But that's not what I was led to believe.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, it wasn't what you'd expect. But I'm, not that I'm disappointed with that particular aspect. But
I'm
disappointed with the sex scene was.
Obviously, Adam's outraged. He's going to be writing to the fucking director immediately.
Right.
You promised me a gay film, and I didn't even get any gay sex. You homosexual fucking.
For a gay film, it wasn't. Very
I'll show
gay.
you fucking gay porn. Give me that fucking dildo used in that scene and that lube.
Oh yeah. Why don't you take this dildo and this lube and shove it up your ass?
Have you noticed, like, just randomly, it'd say, "You're a cunt." Like, where did that come from?
Right. It's like the dialogue was written by someone with fucking bipolar.
Oh, that's it. The scene where Ben punches Arthur, and then afterwards he's like, "I don't know why I did that," or something like that.
He's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." No, you straight up decked him. You did it on purpose.
Didn't mean
Fuck
to.
you.
I didn't mean to do it. Like he knocks him out, so he's got a bloody nose, and then he's like, "I didn't mean to." Just my hand slipped. Oh,
that was weird. Do you know that guy who was with his brother when his brother was trying to figure out what to do? And he worked with him in that place. He had like dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one scene where he was like speaking, and he kept stuttering his lines and didn't know what his lines were.
They
and they
all
just
stuttered through their lines.
That was like I'm thinking, hang on a minute, how many takes did you actually do? I reckon he was on a bet, and someone said you've got to do a movie, but everything's got to be in one take. You cannot do whatever the original take is. That's what goes in the movie. It's the only explanation.
How this reached DVD distribution, I've got no idea.
I'm staggered.
Oh my god, this got distribution?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I wonder why. That's why no one fucking bothered copyright striking it off YouTube, because no one fucking cares.
Yes. I don't think. Oh.
What about the bad ADR?
Oh,
What, the dubbing?
I mean, it wasn't even the dub. Yeah, it wasn't even bad like Tommy's. You know, that kind of bad. At least it syncs up to his mouth for the most part. They are off sync by seconds. It was just it was mind-numbingly painful to watch.
what about the audio though? Right, there'd be scenes where you'd hear some kind of humming coming from some nearby machine or whatever, and then in the next scene, it's the same scene. There's two people having a conversation, and the audio completely changes. So that humming's disappeared. You've got like someone speaking, and there's like a in the background, and then in the next scene, it'd just be completely gone. And then there's like scenes where they're in like a restaurant, and all you can hear is them clattering around at the chairs and the tables, and that's all you can hear, and the dialogue's like completely cut out. You just can't hear anything. All you can hear is like,
because they're not close enough to the boom. So the actors, they're like shouting their lines. Do you want more?
It's like the Mildred character who like.
Oh, that scene in the fucking cafe. What was all that about?
Yeah.
But then she turns up late, like he hates her, and then she turns up later as his neighbour, like going, "Oh."
Yeah, but what was all that about? I thought she was just a customer.
Yeah, I don't think they had enough.
Then it ends up being like someone who lives somebody who lives next door.
Yeah. She had 2 more inches left in her drink, and he wanted him to fill it, and he's like, "That's it. I'm quitting. The next person who asked me to fill their glass, I swear to God, I'm out of here." And he quit right on the spot because that's great writing.
Because she wanted some more sugar. Right? He did fill up the extra 2 inches, and then she's like, "Now get me sugar."
Oh yeah, the sugar. He never did.
What about when he gets punched? Right, he punches him. That was like a bit unexpected. Knocks him out, and he goes unconscious. And you could tell that he didn't connect. And there was like a Street Fighter 2 sound effect that just went like that, like a punch. It's like they've just dubbed that off Street Fighter 2, haven't they? You know what I mean?
But there was like everything with the violence. There was no continuity in it when it was trying to be fun. When he brings Ben home from the hospital and he puts him on the sofa and he goes, "I don't want to lie here. I don't want to sleep." And then he goes, "Okay, I'll move you to the other bed." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm tired." It's like, well, a minute ago you didn't want to sleep. What?
That's fantastic writing.
What's the crap with his brother, right? He wanted to, at one point, he says the solution, basically his brother is the main villain, one of the gay people's brothers. He's disgusted that his brother's gay.
Even though the actor is clearly the most homosexual man in the whole movie.
Yeah, ironically. I thought that as well. I thought that's a bad choice of casting that. He's failed on every level, that fucking, that Sam guy.
I don't understand why that Sam guy didn't play the brother and he get the gay guy to play Arthur. That would have made a lot more sense, no?
Yeah, because ironically, he's the least gay out of all of them.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was pretty gay. I'm sorry. Did you see when he was running away from after he put the chloroform on?
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
And he's running away with his hands all flailing, and then he grabs the pole, swings it, and swings around. You just knock some dude out, and you're just la 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 la, running away from it in your sandals when you're wearing socks, by the way. Holy shit. And then you can hear his flip-flops through a couple of scenes. Are just like, as he's running down the fucking street.
And I suppose he did open the film in a pair of Lycra running shorts.
Yeah, just in case anybody doesn't know, because I know Blackjack Music's just said they've just watched the first minute. For anybody who wants to get an idea of what we're talking about, you can put it on YouTube now. If you just type in Ben and Arthur, the whole movie's available.
Yeah.
So you can just have a flick through, obviously, you know.
Well,
you could just watch this later and then come back or whatever, you know.
Well, yeah, let's not encourage people to leave the stream, Andy.
No, I've just said they can. No,
Good
never
point.
mind.
Good job. They'll do what you say.
Sorry, Adam.
Anyway,
I've got to give Adam $20 now because I've done something wrong. That's what happens after every stream.
yeah, I fine him because we're taking this very seriously now. If they're ever late to the podcast, they get a fine.
Oh, they mess up with the audio at the beginning of the podcast.
Stutter their words.
Yeah, or mispronounce their own name. Anyway, what was your favourite scene in the film?
I would say the scenes between Ben. Who was the married one? Was it Ben or Arthur?
Ben was the married one.
Married.
Ben and his wife, because it didn't make any sense. At one point, his wife's calm, and then the slightest thing, like you'd think had set her off, like, I'm homosexual, and she'd be like, oh, you're not homosexual, and then I want a divorce, I'm gonna fucking murder you. You know, she's just like all over the fucking place, and the dialogue makes no sense. Like that bit when she goes, you're leaving me for another man. It's like, another man? What? It doesn't make any sense.
Chris, yours?
I'm torn between the two. I have a couple scenes that are kind of my favorite. I really like
Gay stripper.
Oh shit!
That's
Show me
my
your
favourite scene. You spoiled it, Andy. I was about to bring this up.
I won't spoil. I will go into my scene is when he goes when Arthur goes to confront the priest and he asks him for he's pretending to be that guy, Mitty or who the hell the fuck else, whoever the fuck it is. And he asked the priest, like, can you give me his address? I want to have, like, Bible study with him or some shit. And the priest writes down the longest address in fucking history so he can get shit out of his pockets. And, you know, like, it's supposed to be, like, chloroform. So he's got a cloth in one, which struggles to get out of his pocket. And then he pulls the bottle of fucking nail polish remover that's supposed to be chloroform, pours it on the thing. And you look, it cuts back to the priest, and he's got like 4 sentences written down. I swear to God. And then it cuts back to him, and he hands him the note, and he walks away, and the rag is visible. And he turns the corner, and then he strangles him, or whatever the hell he does to whatever the fuck the scene was supposed to be, and like shakes his mouth while he's doing it, and like slowly carries the big guy down to the ground. It was just bad execution through the whole thing. It just, for me, that was my favorite scene. It just that scene just tells you everything you need to know about the movie. But I have a couple good scenes though. But go ahead. What's your favorite one, Adam?
Well, my favorite one is when Arthur's trying to get a new job. He goes to become like a go-go dancer or something. The whole thing is just brilliant. She goes, right, dance for me now. And he goes, there's no music. He goes, you don't need music. There's no one here. It's like, okay, clearly we can't afford the copyright for a music. And the dance that he does.
Oh my God. That's gonna haunt my fucking dreams.
It's like bad dad dancing at a wedding. And it's
right,
just...
if you're wasted and trying to entertain 6-year-olds.
Top Rock has just said it had a budget of $40,000, whereas The Room had $6 million.
Shit, The Room.
So literally, it was filmed with an iPhone and no editing suite whatsoever.
But also, that scene also had my favourite line in it, because then he finishes the dance and the man goes, "Yeah, good. Now let me see your penis."
Before he takes a drink of his wine cooler.
Oh yeah, menacingly swigs. He's probably the best actor in the whole thing. Menacingly swigs from his beer bottle and then goes, "Now let me see your penis." So.
And the only good editing was the cut to him leaving and crumpling that up, because that was a good way to edit that scene.
There was some bizarre shots, weren't there? Like you said, Chris.
Oh God, they're all over.
The whole thing was bizarre. But why do you think this hasn't got the cult status that The Room reached, though?
Do you know?
It didn't have the backing. It didn't have Tommy Wiseau. He's the X Factor, man. He's just He's just an X Factor who did things behind the scenes to get that film. He paid for that theater to play it once a month. He left that billboard up.
Yeah.
Like he helped push it. I think this film was like, you know, I don't think there was any push for this thing on a marketing standpoint.
But if you look at it as just a movie and a piece of entertainment, I think with The Room, because the budget was so high, it's like Disaster on a decent... Because the production's pretty good. If you compare it to that film, you know, it's all very well done to a degree. But with this, everything was terrible.
The thing is, The Room, you know, the room looks really low budget, but then going back and comparing it with this, and the sets in the room look fairly decent. This is like being filmed in someone's apartment.
Yeah. And the sort of the amusement that you get from this, although it's accidental in the room as well, the room's got some kind of like an innocent charm running through it, like because Tommy's got like a, or should I say, yeah, Tommy Wiseau's got like this bizarre view of the world that's a little bit idealistic because he's portraying Johnny to be this great guy who loves everybody and he gets fucked over by everybody. But it ends in very similar fashion, doesn't it?
Did you not think the end of this,
Ben
and Arthur, and by the way, guys in the chat, spoilers now, was completely ripped from Scarface, wasn't it? When the girl's coming up to when is Michelle Pfeiffer's coming on to Al Pacino and going, "This is what you want, isn't it?" It was just like Scarface.
It was.
When he's going up to Victor going, "This is what you want, this is what you want, isn't it?" And this sort of thing.
Oh my, the special effects when they're shooting the guns are awesome. And in that same scene, when he shot the table, you can see Victor, the actor, kick the table over to simulate the gunshot, to simulate the gun hitting the table. He's like, "Oh, I kicked that real quick." Oh, and then, oh shit. You shot at me. Ah!
Then he apparently takes a bullet to the shoulder with no sign of injury whatsoever.
No blood, or doesn't even flinch.
This is really.
Would you watch it again, Adam?
I would, but with a group of people and lots of alcohol.
Oh, I would. Yeah. Oh, I definitely rewatch this under the influence.
Do you know what we could do next time? Like we did with The Room, next time I visit, Adam, we'll do like a drunken commentary on it.
We'll try. We got shut down doing that with The Room, remember? Even though The Room was on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. We only
but we got away with it in the end, didn't we have to?
No, it got taken down.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, Blackjack, you're absolutely right. His sister, yes, of course. And yes, so it was exactly ripped from Scarface because it was two brothers rather than a brother and a sister. That ending was exactly the same.
Ew, was this gay Scarface?
Gay Scarface. Gay face.
It's like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I like Scarface. I really do. Let's make a movie. Oh, Jesus, I never even thought about that. That's funny.
But. What did you think about the ending, guys? Obviously, guys, this is going to be a complete spoiler, and I think everybody wants to watch it because the watching count has just gone down dramatically.
It's gone down by 7 people. When I said that, I think people are quite excited to go and watch Ben and Arthur. So
yeah, how could you not be?
They should, but you come back and listen to this after you do it.
Yeah.
It's. I think you'll laugh along with us, but this film is just so fucking bad.
But it's
hilarious.
It could reach cult status. The thing, if this Sam Raovich had put like the effort into it that Tommy Wiseau did, I think this would be talked about in the same breath as. The thing's The Room for years and years was under the radar. When it first came out, people didn't get it. They went to the cinema, they walked out. People demanded their money back, and it's only been in the last 3-4 years, maybe a bit longer, that people have really started getting into it.
Yeah, it's been a little longer than that. Okay, like when I left LA in 2007, a couple months before that, a friend of mine was talking about this movie. And I'm like, I never saw any of the trailers or any of that shit. And then they ended up taking me to a screening of it in 2007. So there was some kind of shit talking about it, but it was very small, and it definitely wasn't worldwide or internet. It wasn't hitting the internet then, but I just happened to be around the right kind of people who showed me this movie, and I got to actually see it on the big screen, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I'd really love to go to a
I didn't really think it was gonna blow up like this. I didn't.
I think though we can't not talk about The Room because that's the point of doing this. I don't want to sound negative, but there'll never be another room. It's a little bit, and I'm sorry to use those words again, it's a little bit like the original Star Wars. It will never be recreated ever. It's like a timeless classic. Bit like something that comes along once every 100, 200 years, like Beethoven's music, or is ridiculous. No, but hear me out. I know that sounds absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But the reason it's like that is because it's so ironic in its brilliance that I could never get bored of watching The Room. I think I've seen it 6 times, which is more than I've seen some Star Wars movies, which is just fucking nuts. And you can't, just the bits that I've seen over and over again, the bit where, you must be kidding, right? You know, after like just the stupid shit he comes out with, but it's funny and charming at the same time. But with this, it's a different kind of, you do enjoy it, but with The Room, I was actually interested. I wanted to know what was going to happen to Tommy, and there was enough story to keep me going. With this, I couldn't give a fuck what was going on.
I will admit, like, towards the end of this, I started looking at my phone and it was like, I'm listening to it, but it's just not good enough to pay that much attention to. However, I think The Room only gained the traction it did because Tommy and Greg were still pushing it years afterwards. I mean, they were going to screenings for the cult fans to meet them and sign autographs and doing, like, Q&As afterwards and stuff.
Yeah, they were helping their own publicity.
Yeah, whereas I think anyone involved in Ben and Arthur probably wants this forgotten about as much as possible. I'd be quite curious to, I don't know if it'd be possible, but to get hold of Sam Ralvich and discuss this film with him.
Do you know what's funny about The Room, though? What makes it
interview him.
That, like, every so often Tommy says something that's supposed to be like philosophical, and just in a film that makes no sense with the script, and he just goes, well, you know what they say, love is blind. It's just like,
blind.
Like, if everybody loved each other, the world would be a better place to live. But you don't get any of that in this.
I got the test
Great
results
story,
back.
man.
It's definitely cancer.
Definitely.
It's just the way she says it, like, so upbeat.
Just give
it's
me 5
definitely
minutes.
Cancer. Yeah.
Remember, he wrote everything, so everyone's fucking lines come from Tommy.
Where's my
Just
money,
remember
Denny?
that.
Where's my fucking money?
Give me 5 minutes.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
It's funny because in the film Disaster Artist, James Franco is playing Tommy offset, like mouthing the lines as the actors are saying it. I just found that just fucking hilarious because I bet you Tommy was doing that.
Yeah.
I bet you he loved his script that much. And I've written a lot of scripts, but I'd always had to go back and look at what I wrote. But I bet you Tommy knows every line, every period. I bet you he was down. I bet you he felt it. It really feels like somebody's in a room and they're just like saying what comes to them. That's what his dialogue just reminds me of. It's organic, but I don't mean it's good. But I really do think it's organic.
I think in a way these are both very similar productions because they're both kind of vanity projects, and I bet you all of the dialogue in this came from Sam Ralvich as well.
What if this is a prequel?
I believe he did everything on it.
Yeah, he did everything.
Well, this is an older film than The Room by 1 year, isn't it?
It is. It predates it. It's a prequel.
Wow.
It's a prequel, yes. That would be a double bill I would go to. Ben and Arthur followed by The Room screening.
Double feature?
Yeah.
Fucking hell yeah.
Just need a massive beer to get me through
There's just, I think, the thing is with...
Time they say gay marriage. Take a shot. We'll be wasted by 15 minutes.
Do you think that... I think the thing is with this, it's like this guy's trying to sort of put on screen his own sort of struggle through being gay maybe, and his own like politics where gay people are concerned, but it just turns into a bit of a farce, doesn't it? It's like you're not bothered, and even gay people will be like going, I don't give a fuck.
I think
something has to happen in your movie though. Like you got to make something happen, Sam. What if he has a brother and his brother doesn't like gay people? Ooh, that's twist. It's twist.
It's twist, yeah.
But at one point, right, his brother's trying to cure him by spraying him with holy water, and then he wants to blow his brains out.
In the sense of with a
bipolar. Like the writer is bipolar. He doesn't know what he does. I think he has gay struggles. I really think sometimes he doesn't know whether he wants to embrace being gay or kill himself because he's gay.
No,
I don't know.
I think he went into
he has
this
an
with
internal monologue.
I think he went into this with delusions of grandeur about what a deep kind of social commentary it will be on how difficult it was to be gay in 2002.
I think you're right there.
That was another thing as well. Like, they go, "Oh, we've booked the tickets to Hawaii, and it's all bought and paid for. They go, but gay marriage isn't going to be legal there for 2 more years. All right, we just won't bother going." Oh, okay, you've just booked tickets to Hawaii. And then they do go somewhere, and they're there for like 10 minutes. He goes, "We got to go."
Why couldn't he have gone to Hawaii anyway?
Well, that's what I don't understand. The tickets are all booked and paid for. It's like, well, why don't you just go for a holiday and wait for your gay marriage?
Right.
Oh no, we can't get married. That means a holiday that we've paid for in the 5-star hotel can't happen.
Yeah, because gay marriage had just been legalised, but not in Hawaii. The courts were waiting 2 more years to decide whether they wanted it or not. And yes, of course, to talk about the trip they did go on, at that point, someone then uses their mouth to imitate a telephone. I don't know if you picked up on that, Andy. I know Chris did because we spoke about it before the stream.
Sorry, Adam. What was that, mate?
Right, you know the scene where they fly to wherever is it, Los Angeles? Because where are they meant to be? They're meant to be in Vermont, aren't they?
Fuck knows.
And then
No, they're in California. They go to Vermont to get married. Were you watching the fucking movie? I mean,
I was.
Jesus.
I tried to block parts out, to be honest, but
that lawyer was a terrible actress, weren't she?
Oh my god! When she got killed, do you guys remember that scene?
Yeah. Why did he kill? Why did he kill the lawyer?
Yeah.
It never came back up. It was like cancer. It never came back up. No one ever said, "What happened to the lawyer?"
That was a very Tommy Wiseau-esque thing to do, wasn't it? Just kill the lawyer. Well, why is that relevant?
How do we show how crazy Victor is? What if he kills the lawyer?
Was he killing the lawyer to stop them going through with the gay marriage?
Her talking to her people that she has. Don't worry. I know the dialogue is just delivered so badly.
Yeah.
It was just so choppy, and it's like they never read it. It's like these actors didn't even read any of their fucking dialogue before they went on.
Do you know what I want to know? Right. How did it get 2.2 on IBD or whatever? Who gave it the scores? Like, I'm just going to bring it up on Rotten Tomatoes now.
Well, I looked through most of the reviews on there, and none of them had more than 1 star. So I don't know how it got 2.2 on IMDb, but it was in their worst 100 movies list for quite a long time.
Well, this is how bad it is. It's not even coming up on Rotten Tomatoes, and for a movie to not even, that's just crazy. Oh no, it is here. Let's have a look. 9%. And there's no critic scores at all. It's all user scores.
I don't think the critics would.
This is the greatest movie I've ever seen. Better than Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? This is arguably the worst film since Manos: The Hands of Fate. However, I recommend this movie because it is so bad.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this now. We are never gonna find another movie that comes as close to The Room as this one. This is cinema's equivalent.
But you're right. But we can't give up.
No, we can keep watching some bad movies, but I think we've blown our load a little bit early.
Well, did we? You blew your load at quite a number of points during that film.
Oh, definitely during that face-to-face gay sex scene. And then when Sam Malkovich just has to get naked at the end for no reason.
That's very Tommy, very narcissistic filmmakers. These two films.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Sam Malkovich as well, very much like Tommy, thinks he's a lot more attractive than he actually is. You know, I'm not gay, but I can tell he's not particularly pleasant on the eye.
No, he's like an everyday man, like
receding hairline, a bit flabby,
chubby.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's like he eats. He eats hamburgers in his car and throws the garbage in the back seat. He's that kind of dude.
Yeah. Oh well.
I do have tons of notes though, like as I talk about.
Go ahead. Give us some more thoughts on Ben and Arthur.
Oh, they talk about like the church scene with the foldable, collapsible chairs.
Oh, the folding table in the
folding table in the
in his office.
And he can't find the whiteout, so he's cussing and saying Jesus Christ and shit in a church.
Yeah, what
was he trying to go for that? What was the fucking thought process in that?
I think he was trying to show that he was a cool priest or something, or I don't know, a bit edgy. I've got no idea, to be honest.
And when the dumb moron cop shows up to talk to Victor, he goes, "Hi, yes, I'm looking for if you have seen Mr. Ben Sheets."
Oh, yeah. Let's just talk about the names for a minute as well then. Arthur Sales and Ben Sheets. Who came up with these names?
He must have been in love with like a sailor, and he must have been writing this in bed.
I thought it was like, because he was phoning jobs and he goes, "My name's Arthur Sales," and I was like, oh, he's going to become a salesman or something, but it wasn't that obvious.
Okay, more witty dialogue from Officer Moron. He says, "If you could possibly get your keys and come downtown with us, we need you to have a couple words with you downtown at the department." I swear to God, that's
I think that the officer forgot a line in one scene because Arthur says something that sounds much more like the policeman would say, because he's like knocks on his door and he's behind like the gated bit of the door and he goes, "Would you like me to step outside for a moment?" Like rather than the officer going, "Could you step outside for a moment?"
You progress the scene forward. That actor, he's like, "Oh shit, we gotta do something. We're burning tape.
Somebody's got to do something around here." Sorry, room quote.
Nobody else does. And when he struggles to get his LAPD badge out, it's fucking hilarious. He can't get it out, and then he can't get it back in after he says his
Oh shit,
line.
did them guns leak as well?
Oh. Do you know on the end credits it also said that those were hired from Hollywood Props Company?
Bollocks.
Bullshit.
It did.
I've used prop weapons. Those don't look like prop weapons. Not even back in 2002.
Although I have to say, the effect at the end when Arthur first shot his gun, the smoke coming out of it didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I've got one. I thought the fight scene between Ben and his wife wasn't that bad.
What? Because the shaky cam. You got distracted because the camera was shaking.
Yeah,
that was the best.
But what I mean is, they had a good wrestle on the floor. And there was no cutting, so they actually did quite well, I thought. It actually looked like a proper struggle. That's the only positive thing I can think of.
Well,
I take it you don't agree, then.
No, other than the shaky cam, no.
The best bit for me was still just the dance and then the man asking to see his penis. I think that line is just as quotable as anything in the room. Although, if you say it's people that haven't seen Ben and Arthur, they might be a bit confused if you just start turning around and people are going, "Now let me see your penis." What? Well,
the scene where he breaks into the house with a paper clip. Like, he doesn't even bend it. He just sticks it in there and wiggles it around.
Oh, and the magical missing bike that had never been mentioned before or after.
Yeah. Oh, that's what leads to him getting punched in the face.
So I asked you to lock my bike up. It's your bike. It's your responsibility.
Right. And then when he says, "Arthur, I have to be able to trust you," he turns around to Arthur, and it's like this long take of him just staring at him with white noise in the background. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? And then he gets up, and it tracks him with this horrible, shaky fucking tripod shot. It's, you just can't make things that bad. That is just not understanding how to use equipment and not understanding how films are made. That is really somebody with no, and I know because I've made films that look just like that, but that was like 15 years ago.
Well, this was made.
And we're just, when you're just going at it and you don't really, you're just doing stuff just to learn. I wouldn't have never attempted to make a feature film or try to get it published, distributed.
I don't think anyone in this had any kind of credentials in regard. That possibly is quite a large difference between this and The Room as well, because he had Sandy for most of making The Room until he finally walked out, who actually knew about working on feature films, whereas this just seems like a couple of mates were sitting in their apartment one day and watching a film and went, you know what, we can make a brilliant film. And Sam Ralvich goes, yeah, well, I've got this great idea about this in-depth social commentary on gay marriage in 2002. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, Sam. But who's going to direct it?
Well, I'll direct it. Actually,
really?
Chris, this.
Well, who's going to write it?
Yeah, I'll write it. This probably won't make any sense to you, but it reminded me of Little Britain, Andy, with the Dennis Waterman scene. Write the story, sing the song, star in it.
I've not seen much of Little Britain.
So you love Rock Profile, but you've not bothered to watch Little Britain.
And I like Love Come Fly With Me as well.
Need to watch Little Britain. The third series, it gets really repetitive, but the first two series you need to watch of Little Britain.
I will do.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so no one got my reference then.
No.
Nope.
But yeah, they have a character which is meant to be Dennis Waterman, who was in a British show called, was it Minder?
Yeah.
And he wrote the theme song, sing the theme song, star in the show. It's like, yeah, and yeah, and that's probably what Ben was like. He's like, I wrote it, I starred in it, I directed it, I edited it. It's amazing. But if this
I did the casting, the music, the wardrobe.
Because the stream, I looked through all the comments, on the video that we found on YouTube to watch this with, and the guy said, like, who uploaded it, it was a DVD rip, so it must be available on DVD.
Jesus. Well, you said it got distribution,
yeah,
so
it's
somebody
quite scary,
distributed
that,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, but I wonder if it was self-distributed.
You mean like if physically delivered it? So there you go, there's a DVD of my latest movie. Please sell it.
No, he means burned it on his own computer, just stayed up all night,
Yeah.
just did like 50 of them and handed them out to the crew. Here you go, guys. It's what The Room would have been if Sandy wasn't there to cover Tommy's ass.
Yes, basically.
That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difference is as well, that was all filmed on the Burns and Sawyer parking lot, wasn't it? Where lots of big movies go to hire their equipment from. So everyone except for the cast in The Room, like the background people, actually quite a few of them had experience in making a movie. And The Room, probably we would have never heard of it at all, because it would have been even more of an absolute disaster than it was, had they not had a few people around who were trying to make it something coherent, as much as Tommy didn't want to let them. Whereas
Exactly.
someone's just let Sam Ralvich off his leash and gone, yeah, make a movie. Like, oh, God. Fat Andres Iniesta making a gay movie. That is not something the world needed. Well,
But we enjoyed it though, didn't we? In a bizarre kind of way.
in a so bad it's good way, I did very much enjoy it, and that dance scene is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I mean, even if I was in a gay movie, I'm sure I could do a gay dance better than that.
What Adam meant to say was, when I was in my gay movie, I did a dance much better than that.
I reckon I could write a better gay movie than this, so I'm not even gay.
Oh, me too. Jesus.
In fact, that sounds like a challenge to me.
Oh no! And you have to shoot it in one take.
I believe, using my camera phone and writing it myself, I could make a better movie than this.
Oh, that does sound like a challenge.
Right, we all have to go off and make our own
To
gay
make our
movie.
own gay movies with our phones
With our
and see who's the gayest.
phones.
Mine might not be the gayest, but I bet mine will look the best.
Yeah, mine will be the deepest.
Yeah, yours will probably be the best story. Mine will look the best, and Andy will just submit
Andy will just send us
Pornhub.
some video of him and some little kid. Like, this is my gay movie. We'll be like, Andy, that wasn't the idea. It wasn't meant to be just a porno.
Well, we'll see about
Big
that.
Bang, Showtime.
Alright, so that's instead of doing a podcast next week, we have to come back. We've only got 1 week to do this. We have
Yeah,
to all
we're gonna
come
do-
back with a gay movie, and we're going to all upload it, and we'll let the audience decide who it is. Just a 10-minute thing. Obviously, we're going to. Well, mine's just going to have me in it, so I'll have to play more than one character. Because I'm not inviting friends round to do gay things. That'd be weird.
Who's going to perform the love scenes?
Yeah. Oh, I just use camera trickery.
I think I'm going to do a gay horror film.
Okay. This is the challenge for next week. We have to see,
What? It's going to be a busy week.
we have to
Oh,
see
no
if we can make a
shit.
better gay film than this, which I don't think will be that bad. But then we'll put our 3 separate movies up for review by the people, by these. So by the people, I'm being quite rude.
By
to
these
but
people.
by
What
these
the
fucking people here that are listening to us.
I'm gonna ask my boss for a few weeks career break. What are you doing? Making some gay movies?
But I don't. It doesn't
got
need to
fall
be
break coming
graphically
up next
gay.
week.
It doesn't need to be graphically gay. It just has to have a gay
undertone.
undertones. So, yeah, that's the challenge for next week. Because this movie was so bad, we need to see if on our own we can make something better. I'm quite excited now.
You're excited about making a gay movie? I bet you are.
Only because I get to fuck myself in it.
What is Andy's gonna be though? Him with the face cam going, "Oh, I'm gay," and he flips it around and he goes, "Oh, me too," and then roll credits. That's Andy's movie.
Wait, what am I?
Sounds like a good idea.
That's my format. You can't have it.
Yeah, well, that's it. You'll have to try and do it in Genius. I'm going to make mine a bit like Locke.
Oh, that's not fair.
Why?
Because that's too easy.
Yeah, but I'm making it on my own. I'm not going to ask someone else to be in my gay film with me.
You think I'm gonna get people to help me with mine? I'm not having that conversation.
All right, that's another rule then. It all has to be on our own. So we have to make a gay film on our own, between 10 and 20 minutes long. Butler says he'll do it. He's not gay. Oh, sorry.
It took me 16 hours and 3 months of editing to do a 10-minute short film. Are you kidding me?
No, you've got 1 week. How long do you think it took them to make Ben and Arthur? I doubt it took more than 3 days.
A weekend?
Yeah.
A weekend? Maybe?
Do you know? Right, there was a parody of Batman and Robin that was so silly it was kind of endearing, and it was better. It had better on YouTube, and it had better production values than this movie.
I can't believe they said they had $40,000 to make this movie. I don't fucking believe it.
Well,
$40.
where did it go? Yeah, $40.
$40. I've made no look. If you go to my channel, I don't hate to self promote, but I'll show you what you can do with zero money. One of my short films is 5 minutes long. I did it with no money, and it looks 10 times better than that. And there's no fucking dialogue in my film either, and it's a way better film than this.
Right, well, I'm going to have a look at that, and then what I'm going to do this evening is start writing the scripts.
I'll do it if Andy's in. If it's just me and you, it's not that much fun.
No, I'm up for a bit of that.
Right. I'm thinking of my format already now.
I was kind of hoping Andy wouldn't do it.
No.
So I didn't have to.
No, this is going to be exciting. It's going to be something different.
Unfortunately, when I next visit Adam, he's going to say, "Right, Andy, it's time to film the love scene." I'm like, "Whoa, hang on a minute."
No, this has to be done within 1 week. This has to be ready for next Monday night.
Ah, right.
So, I mean, it's not going to. I mean, I think I'm already formulating plans in my head of how it's going to work out.
Well, yeah, you're going to obviously win because you're not going to stand to lose anyway. So even if Andy and I pull out some fucking Spielberg-ass shit, you're going to be like, well, mine's deeper than yours.
But I don't get to vote. We don't get to vote. We're putting this to a public vote.
Oh, that doesn't count either. It's your fucking fans. This is horse shit off.
Yeah, he'll start doing
that's
videos
it,
on his main channel. So listen, guys.
Go and vote for my gay film on my other channel. No, I'm not going to do that. No,
Well,
because we're going to
it's not
live
pretty-
stream them. You guys need to send them to me, and I'll upload them all to OBS, and we're going to do a live stream where we'll all sit back and watch each other's films, and then people in the chat can talk as we show them, and then at the
Hang
end...
on a minute. Hang on. Let's self-reflect for a couple of minutes here. We're all making our individual gay movies and dick measuring them, then getting appreciation for them, and I want my gay movie to be better than yours.
No, it's
Is this
just,
how
it's just a
looking?
bit of fun.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna try to win.
Yeah.
Like my gay
Okay.
movie is gonna be the shit.
Well,
No, it isn't. Mine is.
Well, production value wise, I'm gonna blow you all out of the water. I'm sorry.
Not true. Not true.
Yeah,
Listen, I can do, I can do gay better than anyone.
Hello there. Could we have like a Star Wars theme? That'd be awesome.
you can put whatever you want in it.
Done and done.
You can put
And
whatever
I'm-
I'm going to use copyrighted music in mine, I would have thought so. I'm going to use, like, it's in the Navy, stuff like that. YMCA.
Yeah,
Listen,
Smithers
that's
is
like-
going to be in mine.
Not artistic. That's just throwing a bunch of gay shit up there. I'm gonna.
What are you up
I
to
think
tonight,
mine's gonna-
Smithers? Something gay, no doubt. What? You know, Smithers. Mothers, look up your daughter. Smithers is on the town. Exactly, sir.
I love you, Mr. Burns.
Right.
There's one less student here to see you. That's funny. I don't have an intercom or a secretary, but send him in.
No, Mark's just said no original content. No, only original content, but you can use soundtrack. You can use music from other things, but the rest has to be totally original. You can't use clips of things. Can't be like a clip compilation of gay people. Has to be your own internal monologue.
Can I use one of my own movies and just dub over the dialogue?
No, that's cheating. Because that movie's taken longer to make and has higher production values.
Not all of them. Some of them look like that. I did the fight one time with me and my friend in the basement. It was pretty much just what we just watched, but it's not gay. But it was bad.
I'm just trying to think of a name for my gay character. Tristram.
Tristan, what,
Tristram Featherstone.
if you're in your own gay movie, are you going to introduce yourself? Like, how are you going to get your name out?
What do you mean?
You can have a name tag on.
Right at the bottom, it's going to say, "This is Tristam."
No, I mean on
No,
his
I'm
actual
going to
physical
open up and I'm
person.
going to be like, "Hi guys, my name is Tristram Featherstone, and all of my life I've struggled with gayness."
That's
My
not a
name's
movie.
Lionel
That's a
Fancy.
podcast.
no, it's going to be live action. Then it's going to like,
God, I know what you're trying to do, and it's cheating, man.
well, how is it cheating?
Because you're just going to talk into the camera like you're doing now, and then put credits and shit on it. That doesn't count.
No, you underestimate me, good sir. That's
You gotta go out in public. You have
There's
to
gonna
go
be-
out in public.
This is going to be the gayest thing you've ever seen. And that's how people have to rate it, by whoever's movie is the gayest.
So what's the rating system? Gay, gayer, gayest, the gayest?
Yeah, I guess so. So it'd be quite interesting, three straight men making films about struggling with gayness.
I just thought of a wild card, and I'm not going to share what I think. Oh, shit, I just thought of something. Never mind. I'm going to keep that to myself. You said gay, but you didn't necessarily mean boy. You just said gay.
Yeah.
Oh.
What, you're going to try and
Oh.
hire a couple of lesbians for your film?
I don't have to, unfortunately. I work with a couple. But
Mark, yes, to answer your question, that will be released within the next 11 days, but I've got the last final bits to do for it, my own bits, which I've been putting off for ages. I meant to do them while my friend was here so he could record it, but then we didn't. But yes, the mockumentary should be coming very soon. Of course you can judge Elsie. Everyone is welcome to judge our films, so that's what we want to be judged on how well we can do a topic that we don't understand very well. So yeah, any final thoughts on Ben and Arthur, guys?
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. Go watch it, guys. But make sure you've got like a large bottle of whiskey and some heroin.
There's one thing, like, basically, I thought the movie had 10 minutes left. I thought, God, this has gone on for ages. And I pressed pause, and only 30 minutes had passed. Yes. I was like, for fuck's sake. It was a proper, like...
It was
it's a real slow burn, and not in a good way.
Because, like, nothing happens. It's like the plot's just fucking weird.
Do you think
it's an experience? I would recommend it. It is literally. We have found another room. It is that shit. It's good.
Yeah, I think it will get better with multiple watchings, like The Room does. I think once you get used to the dialogue and how bad and how funny.
Well, I want to go back and rewatch it. That's for sure. Because there's some bad acting, looking off into the camera, horribly long takes that just seem to last forever because no one's yelling cut because the director's in every single shot.
I've just finished downloading an actual version, and it might be better quality.
I don't want to watch it any better
because
quality.
that YouTube one, it wasn't the best quality. As bizarre as it sounds, I want to see it in 4K.
You downloaded a 4K version of this fucking movie?
There is no
I was
4K
joking.
version of it.
What's the music at the beginning? The snooker music.
Janis Joplin, the Entertainer, which is actually copyright free, so I could quickly play a snippet of. This is how the movie opens. I think I've
actually got a reasonably decent version of it, like where the quality is actually better than the YouTube one.
Is this?
Oh, what's all that about? Where like it just cuts to him writing in his diary as well. Remember that bit?
Oh yeah, that's near the beginning, isn't it? It's when he finds out that Scott Joplin, not Janis Joplin, she was a soul singer, sorry, but that's when he finds out that Ben has been married and he's writing in his diary that he's upset about it, isn't it? But the thing is, it opens with because I was like, isn't this the film '94 music? It sounds like the music from the beginning of Barry, God rest his soul, Barry Norman's film series, isn't it? It's not. It's the same theme tune they used to use to that, I think.
Is it?
No, I think it's just similar. But it also ends with the worst ever version of Pachelbel's Canon in D minor, and that did annoy me because that's my favourite piece of classical music.
I do like that song, and they fucked it up.
It was like played with someone on a $10 Casio keyboard playing it or something. Or not even Casio, that would be too good a brand name for it, but it was incredibly bad, the version of Pachelbel's Canon at the end.
And the ending's shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, how can you have a good ending to a terrible movie anyway?
Well, yeah, that whole thing is shit, but it's so shit, it's good. So I guess in conclusion, everyone that's listening, I think we overall can say we can recommend this, but we recommend it because it's that bad, it's good. It is the closest thing I think I've ever seen to The Room. So yeah, do enjoy it, watch it, but make sure you've got some mind-altering substances to take while you watch it, or it's going to be a painful hour and a half.
I agree, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny because it's
so bad. Yeah, because it's bad. It's funny.
Yeah. And anyway, right. So I think, was there anything else you guys wanted to mention before we wrap up in regards to Ben and Arthur?
I don't know what else there is to say.
I think we've done it. I think
we've gone over quite a lot, really. I would recommend anybody listening, give it a go. You won't be well. It's a bizarre thing to recommend a terrible movie, isn't it? It's a strange way because, like, when
you can appreciate a terrible movie, yeah, then recommend it.
But it's a strange way of trying to sell something which is crap, and it's very difficult to articulate it because when you're enthusiastic about a movie and you've seen something, like, you know, if I'm trying to get someone to watch something that I've seen and I'm telling them about good bits and what I really enjoy about it, but trying to get someone to watch a film that's so terrible, it's a very strange way of trying to articulate why to watch it. Do you know what I mean? There was an article that was on The Guardian recently. I shared it on my Facebook page. It said there's a study. They do studies for all kinds of things. Some university in bloody Ohio or something said that watching bad movies is a sign of high intelligence. Would you believe?
What? Really?
Yeah. Do you want me to read an extract from the report before we go?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Is it just because you look down your nose at it, like sort of thing?
Do you want me to read you the first couple of paragraphs?
Yeah, go on.
So Bad It's Good is a type of enjoyment that seems specific to film and television. You probably wouldn't willfully listen to a terrible album, read a lousy book, or go to see a thematically redundant art, and yet many of us will sit down and watch the worst movie we can find with glee. For the first time, academics have delved into this phenomenon, with the journal Poetics this week publishing a study entitled Enjoying Trash Films, Underlying Features, Viewing Stances and Experimental Response Dimensions. And it goes on to say, at first glance, it seems paradoxical that someone should deliberately watch badly made, embarrassing and sometimes even disturbing films and take pleasure in them. And then it goes on and on.
Well, I don't know about the disturbing films. I certainly have no interest in watching The Human Centipede.
Yeah, I watched a bit of I Spit on Your Grave today and I had to turn it off. It was just too much.
Yeah. And just to address before we finish things up here, everyone in the chat, I know I did a little video earlier in regards to the Elsagate and now exploiting real life children, and I did say I was going to do a bit more on that this evening. However, I'm going to move that to tomorrow now, so do make sure you've hit your notification bells, because I'm going to be doing like a live investigation where you guys can watch my computer screen as we go through this shit and try and make sense of it, because I don't want to do it alone, because that'd be weird. So make sure you guys come and join me when I do that tomorrow afternoon or evening, because this stuff really needs to, people, especially parents, need to be aware that this stuff is going on. It's very dark and twisted. And I was quite happy to watch Ben and Arthur, to be honest, because it was a nice distraction after having something so dark, seeing something so horrible as that. Because, well, it's mostly that guy. I found this guy, I don't know if either of you two watched the video I made earlier, but I found this guy called Philip Howard, and he had these playlists full of like 8-year-olds in bikinis, and it was quite harrowing.
Jesus.
Yeah. Not a very pleasant subject matter, but one that's very important for people to be aware of. Oh, and anyone in the chat that hasn't, and I do apologise because there's a horrible kind of white noise on the back of it, but go and check out the video I made on the BetterHelp app scam on my main channel if you haven't yet seen it, because it's very interesting. I did an interview with the guy called Memology 101, who has been investigating this thing, and this is a huge scam. It's about to blow up. There's massive YouTubers have been promoting this app. Philip DeFranco, H3H3, Jacksepticeye, and it's sort of becoming more and more apparent that this has been like, well, a very sophisticated scam, or perhaps not a scam, but when you're dealing with something such as mental health, then due diligence should be being taken by the company, which it hasn't. So I made a video about that on my IREX Scammers channel, and if you guys haven't seen it, I do apologise because the interview, there's a bit of white noise in the background, which is kind of annoying, but I spent a long time editing it, so hopefully you guys can enjoy that, and I hope to see you here for this live investigation tomorrow. So Andy and Chris, thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and
it's fun.
It's begun talking to you both, Chris and Adam. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, I'll see you guys next week for the gay
movie awards.
The gay movie awards.
The gay movie awards. Oh Jesus, are we really doing this?
Yeah.
Like who's gonna be the first to back out?
No, there's no backing out allowed.
If you back out, you're gay.
Yeah, exactly.
And the terrorist.
I'm already planning this. I'm about to go out for a walk because I haven't left the house today. I know it's pretty late, but I like to get out, at least get a bit of fresh air now and again. and I'm about to go for a walk and plan out my deep, thought-provoking gay movie.
Oh Jesus!
So
I already feel it's rigged, but let's do it. It'll be fun.
I think it needs to be between no longer than 20 minutes, no less than 10 minutes.
I just think 10 minutes is a good cap.
All right. If you run slightly over, then that's fine.
Yeah. No more than 15 minutes. I think 10 is the target.
10
I
to
think
15.
it'll be good. Yeah.
Yes, and thank you guys in the chat for joining us. Do remember to smash that like button if you had enjoyed it, and do go and check out Ben and Arthur if you want a good laugh. And we will see you next time. So, thanks for joining us, everyone, and good night. I need to hit the stop button.